I found some of the juiciest Am I the Asshole posts for you, and today we're gonna go through them. We're gonna judge some assholes. Not the booty cheek assholes, the people assholes. Am I the asshole for not removing the Disney items from my house? My 35 female husband, 38 male, and I are what you call Disney adults. For us, it has sentimental value as well as being something we both loved from childhood. Now, we are conscious to not be those Disney adults. We can hold conversations outside the movies and parks. We both work well-paying jobs unrelated to the company. We have other hobbies and interests. Anyway, we live in a renovated farmhouse on a bit of land that includes a barn that we finished off, with hopes to make it a guest house one day. Now, my sister, 28 female, wants to get married on our property, and we were all for it. Everything's been planned for months and the wedding is in June. It's set to be outside completely, but if it rains, we can move the party into the barn. The only reason a guest would have to go into our house is to use the bathroom. We have 2 on the first floor. The only Disney items are Winnie the Pooh hand towels. I told my sister I'd replace them with regular ones. Wedding space has no Disney items. However, she wants me to take down everything Disney on the first floor of my home. As guests will see, we have a lot of Disney items, pictures, paintings, blankets, Funko Pops, decorations, figurines, dishware, etc. Oh, I'm not a Disney adult, but that was a lot of words for things relating to Disney. All made for adults, and a lot of it is subtle or vintage, but you can still tell it's Disney. This would be a massive undertaking. It's not as simple as shoving stuff into a closet. We'd have to pack it up and find a place to store. It's ridiculous to me. Who cares if people see? She says it looks tacky and she doesn't want people to remember her wedding for that. I told her no. We're decorating the outside and barn as she wants. We're letting her use our property for free, which she keeps bragging about to friends as it's saving them a ton. When my husband and I stood firm, she whined to our parents who told us to grow up and take it down. Here's something you guys gotta know about me. I have a vendetta against Disney adults. I'm sorry. I think it's for kids. I think it should just be strictly for kids. But that being said, I definitely do not think she's the asshole. This is her house. She should be able to she can decorate it with dead bodies if she wants. No, that's probably illegal. Maybe not that, but anything legal. Letting her sister have her wedding there for free? That is huge, bro. You have no right to complain if they're balling out for your wedding for free. Not the asshole. Your sister doesn't want her wedding to be associated with Disney. Your sister wants full control of the space and decoration. I have an idea. She should rent her own venue. Sister can bippity boppity back the fuck up. Am I the asshole for ruining a proposal at a wedding? I, 27 male, am a part-time DJ. Last weekend, I got invited to DJ for cheap at a wedding for a friend of a friend. At the wedding, while everyone was on the dance floor, one of the guests, we'll call him Kevin, approached me and asked if I could play the song Golden Hour. It was an odd request because at this time, all the guests were literally hopping around and dancing, but I was told to take all requests, so I did it anyways. When I started playing it, the dance floor started to clear up, and then Kevin invited a woman onto the dance floor. They started slow dancing for a bit. Then, at that one part of the song, Kevin got down on one knee, and I knew right away that he was going to propose. I didn't think it was right, especially because they were in the middle of the dance floor with all eyes on them. And I kind of felt like if this happened, I would take the fault because I was the one who put the romantic song out of nowhere. So instead of letting that happen, as soon as he pulled out the box, I started to play Boogie and turned up the volume instead. After that, Kevin just side-eyed me and got up, and everyone else sat down. Nothing else really happened, and the tension was very thick. After the wedding, no one really brought it up, and I obviously thought that I wasn't the asshole, and the friend that was friends with the bride said that I wasn't. But then a bunch of the family started to message me. It turns out that Kevin was the bride's brother, and the family kept asking why I did that. I told them that proposing at someone else's wedding was not appropriate. They told me that I shouldn't have an opinion because I was just the DJ, and now Kevin got publicly humiliated because some people knew this was going to happen. So they were taking videos and live on Instagram so all their friends could see. I would pay so much money for that video. I want to see that so bad. This dude's just like on one knee. It's supposed to be the happiest day of his life, and then just Boogie starts. I know I'm manifesting bad karma for wanting to see this, but I don't care. I responded with, that would have made the newlyweds hurt. But then they came back with, you shouldn't have assumed that the bride didn't want that. That part got me thinking, because I was mostly communicating with the bride about arrangements and she was very chatty before the wedding. But after that, she kept giving me one-word answers. So I assume she is mad at me, but then again, when she paid me, she almost doubled the amount for what I was asking for with a generous tip, ? So I'm not sure if the bride actually knew. I think she would have told me, but am I the asshole for just assuming? I mean, who doesn't know not to propose at a wedding in 2023? Like, are you dumb? Did you get bricks dropped on your head at the ripe age of 12? I'm gonna go ahead and say dude isn't the asshole, but I will say, bro, just like let it play out next time. I'm a little torn on whether or not you should have interfered. You have all the deniability in the world. They told you to take every song request, and you did. How were you supposed to know? Nobody told you. I don't know. I mean, I guess mind your own business, but also, like, if this was my wedding, I would have gone up and dabbed him up. I'd be like, bro, thank you. Screw this idiot brother of mine. If the bride knew this was going to happen and approved it, she should have told you beforehand. Going with not the asshole. Your heart was in the right place. Protect the bride and groom's day. I like that. You can't be an asshole if you had good intentions. I truly believe that. Am I the asshole for ruining my sister's gender reveal? I, 30 male, have a sister, Layla, 28 male, I to Pam, 29 female, and Layla to Greg, 30 male. Me and my sister had a grandma who sadly passed away when we were in high school. Since we are both married and both plan on having kids, the topic of names came up and we both said we wanted to name a child after our grandma. Let's say her name was Victoria. We didn't really fight about this per se and just agreed whoever had a daughter first could use the name. About a year ago, Pam got pregnant, which was very exciting. We found out it was a girl and did a gender reveal where we announced we were going to use the name Victoria. My sister was not upset about this and jokingly said something along the lines of, you beat me to the punch. A few weeks after this, my sister announced that she was pregnant. Sadly, late into the pregnancy, Pam miscarried and lost the baby. This was incredibly difficult on us, and Pam suffered especially bad, both physically and mentally. My family has been there to support us, but we have asked Layla to give us some space as seeing her pregnant is a lot for us at this time. While she was upset about this, she understood. Recently, my parents threw my sister a gender reveal party, similar to the one we had for Pam. My mom convinced me and Pam to go, and we felt we were in a good spot to go. We get to the party and all is great until we get to the gender/name reveal. When the garage opened, me and my wife were shocked to see a banner that said, "Welcome baby Victoria." I asked my sister, WTF, and she said since we weren't using the name, it's only fair that she should get to. Oh my god. People are so stupid. How do you not have the general empathy to know that that would be hurtful? My wife started sobbing and I took her to my car, but not before telling my sister she is an evil human being who doesn't deserve to be a mother. Now my mom is mad at me because Layla also has a high-risk pregnancy and this was very stressful for her. Most of my family is saying I should apologize for what I said. Am I the asshole? Oh, this is important. So they made an edit that says, when I say miscarried, my wife gave birth to a stillborn. While our daughter was never alive, my wife gave birth to her. It was too early for the baby to live, sadly. Our daughter is buried in a grave that says Victoria, which I think is part of the reason I was so upset. Okay, that's just like more of a reason not to do it. What? The way the family was okay with this kid being named Victoria is crazy. Not the asshole for sure. I don't even need to read the comments. I don't know, get a new sister, bro. I do have to say, the evil human being who doesn't deserve to be a mother, a little over the top, not gonna lie. Yeah, you guys have a lot of family stuff to figure out. That's some trauma. Speaking about family trauma, am I the asshole for telling my sister that a comment she made is exactly why her marriage crashed and burned? Oh, I really hope me and my siblings never get to this level. My sister's been staying with my husband and I, men in our late 20s, for the last week and some change. She and her husband have initiated the divorce process, and she said she doesn't want to stay alone right now, which I completely understand. It would be very hard to go from living with a partner to a completely silent house. I opened our home to her before I found out why her marriage didn't work out. Now that the two of us have had multiple conversations about it, I'm a little uncomfortable. There was no infidelity. There was no big scandal. What she told me is that her husband wasn't having sex with her enough. The things she has been saying have floored me. She says without sex, the two of them were basically just like roommates. She said she had been pushing for him to get a hormone imbalance test done because while they were still having having sex, it wasn't enough. She said he had begun resisting even normal touches from her because from his perspective, all she thought about was sex, which apparently isn't true. I'm not sure I believe that. I've done my best to be supportive, but I can't relate to the thought process at all. If my partner told me tomorrow that he wasn't up for sex for the next few weeks, months, or longer, I would just take care of myself and respect that. I love him and I want him to be the person I do life with forever. This all came to a head last night. My husband and I were having a typical lazy Saturday night, catching up on some shows and chatting while we lounge on the couch. His legs were in my lap and I was kind of absent-mindedly massaging his feet and rubbing his ankles. This was an innocent gesture. My sister came in, saw me doing it, and made a joke along the lines of, "OP, I didn't know you were into feet," or "I didn't know you had a foot fetish." The exact wording escapes me. I couldn't help but feel put off at her sexualizing the gesture. Intimacy can be sexual, but it doesn't have to be. I told her so and then said, referring to her divorce, "You sexualizing every interaction is why you're in the situation you are now." She called me a dick and left the room. I already know it was a little harsh, but I'm unsure if it was tough love or too much. Am I the asshole? This is hard. I don't think you're the asshole in the fact that she needs to hear it, but I do think you're the asshole in the way and the time that you delivered it. The sister needs to absolutely hear this, not only for herself, but for her future relationships. But the time to do that isn't in that moment where you're kind of defending yourself, as well as I think the wound is just too fresh. That's a conversation you have with them when you're kind of in a safe place and you've set up like, "Hey, I'm not trying to attack you and your character, but this is something I noticed." Which is hard. I have siblings too. I've said really mean things to them just in the heat of the moment. But I can imagine going through a divorce, that might be a little hard for her. Not the asshole, that is a weird thing to say to your sibling, and thinking every time you touch your partner it has to be sexual reasons is screwed up. I don't know, I didn't really find like the foot fetish thing offensive. I thought it was a weird thing for them to blow up on. Like, I've definitely joked about my friends and stuff having foot fetishes just like as a joke. I don't know, maybe I'm screwed up for that. Am I the asshole for being jealous of my brother with cancer? I, female 18, have a brother, male 26, who has terminal cancer. Ever since he got sick, my family has given me less attention, which is understandable, but now it feels like it's to the point where they don't care about me as much anymore. We have a family group chat. On my birthday, everybody asked how he was doing instead of wishing me a happy birthday. Okay. My parents watch movies with him and spend time with him and never invite me. Wow, that is... Okay. A few days ago, I got frustrated by the fact that I'm feeling so left out and ignored that I told my mom about it. I told her I was feeling like a glass child. She called me disgusting and couldn't believe that I was jealous of my brother with cancer. So am I the asshole? That sucks that the mom said that to her, because I don't think this person's actually jealous. She just wants to be treated like a human being that these people care about. Like, that's not too much to ask for. The least you can do is say happy birthday to your family member. The least you can do is invite them to a movie night. Definitely not the asshole. There is an edit on this one. Clarification, I'm not jealous that my brother has cancer. To be honest, I'm not jealous at all. I simply use that word because it's the word my mom used to describe me. I spend time with my brother. We recently went on an overseas trip, just the two of us together. What I'm upset about is my family doesn't put much of an effort to check in on me or spend time with me. I understand that he has limited time left and that they want to continue to spend time with him before he's gone, but still, don't I deserve love too? They actually added an update on here. Yesterday, my dad reached out to have dinner with me. We went out to eat at a restaurant. The first thing he started talking about was my brother. He didn't ask me how I was doing or what my current interests were or anything, just reminding me that he was going to die. I got really upset and left for a little while because, once again, I felt like I didn't matter to my family. Later that day, I called my mom and explained to her how I was feeling. She told me that she understood and was sorry that I was feeling that way. She said she would try to include me more, so hopefully things will change and I won't feel so neglected in the future. Neglected. I think neglected is a good word. You weren't jealous, but you were feeling neglected, and nobody should feel that way. Am I the asshole for saying, "Wow, I don't like you," to my friend's boyfriend? I was at the mall with my best friend when another friend, let's call her S, noticed us and invited us over. S was with her boyfriend at the time and wanted to introduce us. It did not take long before we realized that the boyfriend was, let's say, strange. He refused to talk to us, giving one-word responses to everything, and when the topic went towards things we enjoyed or liked, he'd just go, I don't care. It was disheartening to say the least. I try my best generally to include everyone in the conversation, but he honest to God refused to participate even when the topic was his interests or relationship with S. The thing that really broke the camel's back, for me at least, was that he made S talk for him and not in a, I don't know what to say, so please take the reins way, but in a almost they are beneath me way. After around 30 minutes of trying to either ignore boyfriend and discuss other things or let him speak only for him to refuse to, I just didn't care anymore and went, wow, I don't like you. And he, once again, just ignored everyone, even S, when she tried to defend him by saying, I wish I was joking. I still don't understand the correlation that he's a feminist. Oh my God, that's so funny. I think that's every girl's go-to response when they're dating an absolute dud of a guy. He's a feminist. The whole thing ended up just being awkward, and afterwards, S didn't talk to me as much. It all came to a head at my best friend's birthday when S tried to confront me and said I was a bitch. Said I was being mean to her boyfriend. I was most likely rude, I agree, though I genuinely was out of things to say at that point. So, am I the asshole? I don't know. I think culturally you're an asshole. Like, you're not supposed to tell people to their face that they kind of blow dick. But honestly, like, this dude should hear that he kind of sucks. Usually those opinions never get to the person that they're about. They're always talking about it behind the back or maybe to the girlfriend. But also he was kind of being a dick too. Being like, I don't care when people are talking about their interests is so rude. I don't know, maybe this kid has social anxiety or something like that, but he just sounds like a dickhead. Sounds like he needs a reality check, and you gave him one. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know when I post and when I go live. I will see you guys next week.